welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am T, and thank y'all for tuning in to another video. Y'all, I am so excited. When I tell y'all I am so excited, today I am going camping, solo camping. Haven't been in quite some time. Definitely have been looking forward to it, and so I'm over the moon today. Literally, I am over the moon. Like, y'all see my smile is bright. It feels so good to do this, y'all. Camping is my, I don't even know how to put it. It is my release. It is my getaway. It is my moment to be with me, to be with nature, to forget about the hustle and bustle of my normal life. It is time that I take for myself, to get back to where I need to be and really pay attention to my mental health. So I often get a lot of questions about how do I camp and what do I bring when I camp. So I figured that I would make a video for you all today to show you how I pack when it comes to me solo camping. One thing about camping is I tell everyone you can make it your own. And it also depends on where you're going. And so some of the things that I'm going to show today that I bring, you may not necessarily need to bring, depending on the type of camping style that you like to do. Or you may bring more than I bring because I solo camp, right? It's only me going, don't need a lot of stuff, just need the essentials for me to enjoy my time out there in nature. I also like to add that every time I go camping, I either find things that I need to bring or I find that there are things that I no longer need. I'm always checking my inventory of my camping equipment and changing, adding, subtracting what it is that I need and don't need. And so there may be things that you've seen today that you may not have seen in my SUV car camping setup video. And there may be things that you see today that you may not see moving forward. That's the great thing about camping. It's just figuring out what it is that you want, what it is that you need. And like I said earlier, you know, some people do different type of camping. Of course, there are going to be things you need for tent camping. I do SUV camping. Whether you're backpacking, whether you are camping in a super cold area. I live here in Texas. It don't get that cold here. So my camping style and needs are going to be really different from those who are camping upstate, right? And so just recognizing where you're camping, how you're camping. If you're camping alone, camping with someone is going to be crucial to developing your camping equipment and your inventory. So with that, let's go ahead and get into this video. For those of you who watch my car setup video, you know that I like to store my items mainly in 2 large containers. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend that you stop this video, go look at that video so you can understand exactly what I mean. I kind of gave y'all a glimpse to my containers in that video, but here we're gonna go through those containers. And so I only take 2 large clear containers. That's because I want to make sure I can see what's in those containers, so I'm not just grabbing through boxes and grabbing through things and not really necessarily knowing where to go. And so how I divide, or how I try to divide, is my essential container that has all my equipment, my essentials, my necessary needs, things that I necessarily need to get to. And then I have kind of like my kitchen and other container. And so we're gonna start with the essential container. I'm not gonna go through every single thing that I have, but I'm gonna go through some of the main things to highlight so that you can understand what it is that you need. So first and foremost, in my essential container, as soon as you open it, you're going to find that I have my reflectives for my car windows. So as I stated in my last video, I got these off of Amazon, and they don't fit exactly. They're supposed to be universal, but they definitely do the job. But these are like a necessity for car camping, and so I have 4 of them to fit each style of my windows, and they are magnetic. One thing that I like is that they're reversible, and so when I want to keep the sun out, when I want to keep, you know, warmth or cold in, I can flip it. And so these are my reflectives. I always make sure I have these. I cannot car camp without these. Not only just for the sake of keeping, you know, the cold in or out, but also for privacy. So no one can look at my vehicle and see what I'm doing in there, right? Okay. Other things that you will find in my essentials container are, I have a couple of these different fans. And so these are battery operated fans that stand on their own. I believe I got this one from Academy, But I also have it in pink, and I got this one from Amazon. But these are battery operated fans that I use to keep me cool when I'm sleeping in my SUV at nighttime. Now, one thing that I will say is you want to do your best job when it comes to getting battery operated things. I can't stress that enough, and a great example to that is this reason. Here is a great example as to why battery operated is going to be your best bet. When I first started camping, I got these little fans here that have a USB outlet. Now, naturally, it wouldn't be a big problem, but I myself have not invested in a large power bank. And so I was using this USB fan on my little portable power bank that you've seen in my last video. And by the time the middle of the night came, it had already died out. It was solar powered. I had used it too much during the day, and I no longer had an airflow at nighttime. And so I figured until I invest in like a Jackery or some type of power bank, I need to choose battery operated. And so this is one of the things that, again, I had at the beginning of my camping experience, and then I've learned along the way may not be the best option to have. So to go along with those battery operated fans, I carry a large bag of batteries. I'm telling you, I have AAA, AA, C batteries, D batteries, all of the batteries I know I'm going to need. I just carry it in this little plastic bag. Probably should develop it in a cuter way. Y'all know I like to organize and make everything super girly, super cute. Why I'm still carrying this plastic bag, I don't know. But I'm gonna figure that out, right? By the next video, I'm gonna have a cute little container with some flowers and sunflowers and stuff like that. But carrying batteries is important. I can't stress that enough. Like when you are camping, especially when it gets nighttime, I mean, you can try to leave and go on an adventure to find different things, but like when I camp, I am stationary. I am not trying to move. And so having backup in everything that I need is essential for me, because I'm not trying to drive around the surrounding towns to find a CVS or a Walmart or whatever. And depending on where you're camping, the next town can be quite a few miles away. And so having already what you need is going to be really, really important to your camping experience, because for some reason, if my batteries run out in my battery operated fans or other equipment, I already got backup right here and don't have to worry about going to find a store or a gift shop to get what I need. Other things that I have in my essentials container is kitty litter. I keep it in this little, you know, jar. I got it from the Dollar Tree. The first time I camped, I just took the bag of kitty litter out there, and it rained one night really bad, and that bag got destroyed and I lost all my kitty litter. And so I, you know, said, let me put it in a container so that it is weatherproof and, you know, doesn't get affected by the element. Most of you all know from my last video that I take kitty litter to help me with my portable restroom. I have this here bucket that I use that I line with biodegradable like waste bags, or sometimes when I run out of them, I just have to use plastic bags. But this is my portable restroom. Inside of this bucket, I keep wipes. Sometimes I have the actual like toilet wipes, the wipes that you use when you go to the restroom, or when I run out, I just grab baby wipes. Baby wipes are also really good to have, because not only do they help you when you go, they help you, you know, wipe your face down, wipe your arms down, especially when you're outside, you get sweaty. You know me, I'm an oily girl, so I start to get oily and I don't like that on my skin. So baby wipes are really good to wipe yourself down. And so, yeah, I carry kitty litter because I put it in here when I use the restroom. One thing about being a solo camper, you have to think about the fact that you're by yourself. And I do have one of those pop-up kind of like changing stations. You can also use them for the restrooms, but I don't use those when I'm by myself, because once I'm in my van in the nighttime, I don't like to get out. I just always try to make it so that people don't really know I'm truly by myself, and that I call all this attention to the fact that I'm getting in and out of my car, right? And so I like to have a makeshift bathroom in my car so that, you know, when I have to go, I just get up and go and don't have to worry about trying to go find the restrooms that are on site at the state parks, or just trying to figure all that out. However, when I do camp with someone, we do like to set up just like a makeshift, you know, restroom with a bucket still. And, you know, we just go inside of the makeshift pop-up tent and we do what we gotta do. Some other things that you're gonna find in my essentials box are air pumps. I don't necessarily use this air pump for anything, but I just think it's good to have an air pump. I don't know, I'm one of those people where like, I just bring stuff because I just think it makes sense to have it. And you never know why you'll need an air pump. So I keep a battery operated air pump. Again, I have the backup batteries for this. And I have things like a little broom and dustpan, you know. I'm in and out of my car, so keeping my car kind of clean and my surrounding area clean is important. And because I wouldn't be a girly girl, I keep a lot of my different lights and things that I use to like decorate my van. So I have these lights right here, which are just string lights. I get these lights from like Five Below, or you can get them from Walmart, Amazon. They're really for decorating your room, but I like to stream them through my car because it's cute. It helps with the aesthetics of setting up my camp, but also it just helps with light. These are also battery operated. Again, I can't stress that enough. Just having battery operated things are best for me. I have backup batteries, but this really helps when I'm inside my car, especially at nighttime when it's pitch dark outside. I have sufficient light source in my van so that I'm not always having to use my flashlights or my phone to see what I need to do. I also carry my first aid kit in my essentials container. So my first aid kit probably is a bit extreme, but again, I just am that type of person, y'all. I'm that type of friend. You know when you see like on Instagram, they're like the friend that like plans everything out, the friend that wants to hold everybody's passport, that has all the essential needs. I'm also that coworker who like, if you're like, hey, do you have Zyrtec? Do you have deodorant? Do you have lotion? Do you have like Tylenol? Like, I'm that person. So naturally I bring that to my camping trips too. So this is my first aid kit. I know it can be extreme, but that's just how I like it. A couple things I have in here, not gonna go through everything. Of course I have things like Afterbite, so if you happen to get bitten by anything, you know, you can treat that. It's helped with itch relief. I carry a lot of Zyrtec because I have allergies, and the minute I get bit by a mosquito or just sometimes just being in nature, some of my allergies start to interact with that. And so I always have Zyrtec. I have umpteen sources of like Band-Aids. So these are things that I kind of just picked up through my work. I'm always given like little first aid kits, so I'll throw a bunch of those in my actual kit. And they have like Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, different things that you need. I carry things like Neosporin, because why not? I also have some oral gel. I don't know, I'm just one of those people, I'm like, if I get out there and my tooth starts hurting, something hurts, I don't want to leave my campsite to have to go find a CVS or a Walgreens or something. I want to have everything I need here. And so I keep a lot of those things with me. I also just have rubbing alcohol because it's just good to have that on you. And then I also like to bring like Alka-Seltzer, like the cold tablets that helps with like cold medicine. I am a person where I get sick a lot and it comes randomly. And so if I feel the cold coming on, I want to already have like cold medicine to go ahead and take care of that and not prolong me getting sick because I'm trying to find medicine when I get back in town. Other things that I have in my essential box are mosquito sprays. So I have Cutter, I have this Repel brand. I got this from Academy. I also got the DEET. It's 100% insect repellent DEET from the Repel brand as well. That's basically all what's in my essential box. You know, you have stuff like Lysol, you know, always disinfected. And I always just carry like a bunch of like sanitizing wipes. You just never know what you're gonna have to wipe down, clean, and things like that. So that is the gist of my essential box. Let's move into my kitchen box. Okay, so here in my kitchen box, I have the kitchen equipment. I have my gas stove. It is a butane stove, and it's only a single burner, but it does the job for me by myself. I haven't yet used my stove while camping with someone else, so I don't really know if it's sufficient for 2 people. I'm sure it is. Like, you just take turns doing whatever you need to do, but it works perfectly for me, and you all will see me when I show you all how I camp in my vlog today. And to go along with my stove, I keep a couple cans of butane, so it's just good to have backup. I don't do a lot of cooking, but it's just good to have backup. Again, you don't want to run out and not have any extra gas. I also keep things like duct tape in here. You just gotta have duct tape when you camp. I don't know what you truly need it for, but you gotta have it. And you don't want to be out there in the woods or wherever you are and you don't have duct tape. So I definitely keep duct tape with me. Also in my box, I have a little skillet. It's just a little rose gold skillet. This is the only skillet that I have that fits on my stove. I know that there are probably skillets that I can buy on Amazon, but I am not a camper that camps like, you know, full time or just like all the time. And so I try to use a lot of things that I already have in my house. And so because this is the smallest skillet that I have, I use this when I camp, and it definitely does the job. Other things that you'll find in my box are just cooking utensils. I have spatulas, spoon, tongs, things that I'll need depending on what meal I'm trying to make. I also have these little containers. They're like these little lunchbox containers, but they're so cute because they can stack, and I have a couple of them, and they can stack, and they have like little compartments in them because they're truly like little lunch boxes, but they also come with a fork and spoon set. And so because it's all kind of like plastic, I would rather use that to camp rather than, you know, things that I have to throw away, metal. It's just a better experience for me because I have 2 of these. They stack, and like I said, they already come with a fork and spoon. Also in my kitchen / random box, I have a little toolkit. So this has a screwdriver, and it has like all of these different screw heads that you can use, or screw bits. I like to call them screw heads, but they're bits, right? You can use all of them. And then they also have a couple different other bits that you can use for your car. My dad and I used to use these when we worked on cars growing up. So never forsake having a toolbox. I bring the screwdriver kit. I also bring a hammer. You just don't know, right? Also in my kitchen box, you'll find that I have Ziploc bags. I have sandwich bags, gallon bags, and I really just use these again to store food or to store anything, right? Like I like to kind of just keep everything compartmentalized and safe and sanitized. And so when I'm done with most things, I'll stick them in a Ziploc bag and then put them in my containers. I also keep Lysol wipes in my container. Again, just never knowing what you need to wipe down. Because I don't always have a water source at my campsite, when I'm finished with my dishes, I don't always go wash them. I just wipe them down with wipes real good to make sure that they're clean and ready for the next use. And yeah, so you'll see I also have a bunch of just like hand sanitizing wipes. Again, you can't always wash your hands, and so having hand sanitizing wipes is essential. Also sanitizer, you know, just to keep yourself clean. And a good example of what I mentioned about Ziploc bags are I keep all of my seasonings and my olive oil in here. So things that I have in here is popcorn salt, because I like to add a little extra salt to my popcorn. I keep olive oil for cooking. I keep seasoning salt for taste and whatever I'm cooking. I also have toothpicks in here because you might get something in your teeth and you need toothpicks. And then I also have a can of sardines in here because I just like sardines in a can. And also, I get hungry. I get hungry a lot when I camp. I'm truly a snacker. Leave a comment below if you're a snacker. When I'm camping, I'm snacking. So these are things that I keep in here as well. And then there are just, you know, a bunch of other random stuff in there. Really contributed to sanitizing. More wipes. Just really a lot of wipes. I really like wipes just to keep everything clean and sanitized. And I also put extra batteries in there if I still need more batteries. I also recommend that you throw a couple of dish towels in your camping equipment. Again, Those dish towels can either be used to help you during your cooking experience, but they can also be used to wipe down things. Things spill all the time. Things, you know, get on you all the time. If you don't have enough washcloths, you can use a dishcloth that you have that's clean to help wipe down your body or other things that you might need to. So that concludes the inside of my containers. Those are all of my essential things that I use, that I have to have with me, that I try to keep organized in those containers. Now I'm going to show you a couple of other things that I bring that I still think is very essential to have on your camping experience. This is an item I got off of Amazon, and I cannot remember if I mentioned it in my last video when I was talking about my car camping setup, but this here is a net, and it has magnets all around it. And this is actually one of my most favorite things that I use when I camp. This is actually for my sunroof. And so I got this off of Amazon. Again, it's supposed to be universal, but this one fits my sunroof just fine. And the magnets in this thing they're strong, right? Like sometimes I'm like, is this thing gonna blow away at nighttime? But they're not strong. But this is something that I use to keep my car basically ventilated. Like when it comes to sleeping at night, I keep my sunroof open and I keep this net on it because it allows airflow into the car. During the day, I mostly keep it open just to always keep airflow going through the car. But you don't want your sunroof open and you know you're exposed to the elements, you're exposed to insects and a lot of different stuff that's blowing around you. And so I like this net because it basically prevents anything from really falling into my car. That's not super heavy, of course. But again, gives me a good airflow and ventilation. I will do my best to link most of these products in the description box. Hopefully some of them I can find. It's been a while since I had some of these products, but I'll do my best to definitely link the things that I think that are very essential for you all to have and maybe hard to come across. Another thing that I bring is a picnic blanket. So I actually really love this picnic blanket. I got it from my college actually before I graduated, and I never used it. But when I started to camp, I absolutely started to use it. So this is not something that I bought online. I actually, again, was gifted this before graduation. But it's just a good picnic blanket. You can see it has the back side looks like this, the part that you lay on the ground, and then it's cloth on the front. It's not a huge blanket, but it does enough for one person. Speaking of blankets, I cannot stress this enough. It is important to have a bunch of throw blankets with you. Now this is a super thin throw blanket. It's not even that long. It's cheetah, because I love cheetah. I love cheetah, leopard, and pink. That's my thing, but I digress. Okay, this is a throw. I like to have different kind of throws with me. Of course, I have my more thicker throws that I use for my bedding setup. And then I have these little throws because they're good to have at nighttime. There has been a time where I went camping and I got extremely cold that night. And I was looking for any little blanket or any little thing that I had to help me be warm. And so this can come in handy just to add layers to your bedding. But also when you're sitting outside watching a movie, reading a book, and you don't want to grab your super large throws or blanket, it's nice to also have these little thin ones to just throw around your shoulders to provide a more relaxing experience. This might be random and some people may not agree with it, but I definitely believe in having it. Bring a fire extinguisher. Like, have one of these on hand. Now, I don't know if there are some you can buy specifically for camping. I actually think that there is, but this is the one that I have in my apartment, and I kind of just take it with me when I camp, and then I bring it back. Don't tell my leasing office that, y'all. But yeah, so have a fire extinguisher for fires that you need to put out, but also, y'all, these make for a pretty good weapon. I'm just saying, you know, somebody creep up on you that you know you wasn't expecting. They try to tamper with your car. I'm saying this can knock somebody out. Like, lay them out. Like Mike Tyson them at that moment. Definitely have a fire extinguisher with you. So this is also another random item. And I got this from Five Below. It's a little table. And it's not even like a super sufficient table, but it was something that I got for my first camping experience because I didn't realize that they'll actually give you a picnic table at state parks. So I was like, I need something, right? But it's easily come in handy for other things. And so it works as a footstool for when I'm sitting in my camping chairs. It works for a little TV stand or like a little iPad stand for when I'm watching movies. There's been times where I've set drinks on it or other miscellaneous items that I can't always fit into the handles of my chair. And so having a cute little folding table or just like, you know, piece of equipment that you can lay additional stuff on is going to be important. Always encourage you all to bring chairs. This is actually a new chair that I got, and again, I'll show y'all some of this stuff while I'm actually camping. But this is an outdoor chair from the brand Magellan. I got it from Academy. It was like 45, 50 bucks, but it's one of those director chairs, and so it's super firm, super comfortable, and I like that it has a little tray on the side for drinks and other items that I may need to put to the side. I had those fold down chairs that you can get from like Walmart for like $5, or they might be 10 bucks now. And those were good, but they have definitely worn out from use, but they didn't cost a lot. And so I wanted to invest in better chairs, because when I'm camping, I do a lot of sitting. And so I want to make sure that I'm sitting in comfortable chairs. Something that's really essential to have is an umbrella. This is one of those large umbrellas that you can take to the beach or just have outdoors. And y'all, this thing really came in handy for me on my first camping trip. When we went camping, I brought this because I didn't know what shade was gonna be like. And so I figured, why not have an umbrella so that the sun is not beaming down on us and just really causing harm to our skin. Well, when we went, there was a lot of rain, and there was one day where it wasn't raining really bad, but it was enough for us to be uncomfortable sitting outside. So I hiked up this umbrella and we sat underneath it and we were watching a movie on our iPad, and it was still a really good experience. And so it's nice to have this umbrella because you don't really know what kind of weather you might run into, especially here in Texas where the weather changes every 2 hours. But also it helps with shade. When it comes to car camping, driving your car, whatever, it is very important to have things that are going to help you if you have car trouble. I cannot stress that enough. Even if you're not a car camper or just a camper in general, carrying things like jumper cables in your car, having a spare tire, having things to fix your tire, whatever, are going to be essential to just being a car owner, but your camping experience. Because, you know, God forbid you get out somewhere and something that's happened and your battery is dead. The people who want to give you a jump may not always have jumper cables, or they may have some old rotten jumping cables. And so having a nice fresh set of jumper cables is really important to have in your car. I keep these in my car. These are a new pair that I invested in maybe sometime like late last year. But having those in your car, I also just have different things that are going to help me if I, you know, get a flat tire or, you know, whatever. But having jumper cables and things to help you with flat tires if you need to change them, having an actual spare tire that has air in it is going to be important. So this is an item that I purchased for my first camping trip and have never had to use it. This is important to have, especially if you're boondocking or just not parking at a state park. These are portable showers, and I got this from Amazon, and they're so cute. You just fill it up with water, and then they have like these little handles that you can tie to whatever it is that you're gonna tie it to, and then it comes with a little hose that's here in this bag, and you can just take a portable shower. So I know a lot of people use these who either are in van life or who either just, you know, live out of their car. So that's what made me purchase it. Again, once I got to state parks and realized they actually have shower facilities and restrooms, I'm like, oh, well, I don't necessarily need it. But I like to still have it because there may be a time where I don't camp at a state park and I want to have a portable shower because I just like to keep my body clean. Last thing, two things that I'll tell you to bring on your camping trip are a cooler. Duh. So this is a cooler that I have. It is by the Igloo brand. Listen, I know that there are some phenomenal coolers out there. There are the Yeti brands, there are the Kodi brands, and all these other brands, but listen, I just can't bring myself to pay all that money for a cooler, especially when I only camp for a couple days. And so this Igloo cooler does wonders for me. I fill it up with ice, and again, I never camp beyond 3 or so days, but I like that it's not a huge cooler, so it doesn't take up as much room in my car. But yeah, I got that from Academy, and it does a great job. Another great thing to have is either a backpack or a fanny pack. And so this is like my personal backpack that I keep all of my essentials, important items in. So it's basically like my purse on my camping trips, but I keep everything in here. I keep things like my Nintendo Switch in here. I keep books that I want to read, journals. I also keep things like my inhaler because I have asthma, pain medication, cell phones. Let's also see, you know, I have like my speakers in here and important medication that I need to take. So this is, and also like my wallet or credit cards and ID. This is my essential bag. Again, everything that I need close to me, I keep it in here. This is the bag that I take when I go on the hiking trails. So I keep water in here. But yeah, just have an extra little bag that you can throw your essentials into. It can be a cute little bag like this that I've gotten, or it can be a fanny pack, just something, because you would hate to get out there and you don't have a bag, but you got several things you want to carry with you when you go hiking. So I recommend bringing a small backpack or bag to keep your essentials in. So I think that this is going to conclude this video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video and getting all the way here to the end. I hope that by me showing you all some of the things that I bring on my camping trip will help you all, whether you're new to camping, whether you've been camping for years. But also share things again in the comments that you bring that I may, you know, not have thought about, or may have forgotten to mention. We're all here to help each other. I'm just really excited again to be going on this camping trip and just being able to pull out all of my stuff and get it all packed up. Just gets all my excited juices flowing. And so yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. There are gonna be plenty other videos to come. I'm going to vlog while I camp, and I have some other videos coming up around camping. Just be safe and have fun. Camping is so fun. I encourage you to at least try it. Don't let other people make you scared to do it. Really get yourself out there, but also make sure you have what you need, because there's nothing that is worse than not being prepared. And you're gonna learn how to be prepared every step that you go. So go easy on yourself the first couple of times. You'll learn, you'll get a system together, you'll get an inventory together. And so with that, enjoy the rest of your weeks. Have a lovely day, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.